Right, everyone. Instagram today. Sorry, I didn't get a good stable holder, so we're going to do it from the front, from the side. And on YouTube, hello. Welcome to another Vinyasa flow session from my home. So as always, I want you to come down to your mat, sitting easy crossed leg. So taking your knees wide, your feet are stacked. You can keep them in front of each other, or you can have one leg or one foot above the other. And I want you to slowly close your eyes, sitting tall, arriving on your mat, your fingers in Shamudra, resting on your knees. And just relax your shoulders, getting into that belly breathing, slowly rising your abdominal as you're breathing in through the nose. And let it sink as you're breathing out through the nose. Just try to slowly keep an in-breath for 4. And an exhale of 4. Always through the nose. Also, you're ready to set an intention for today's class. You're doing it for yourself. And you're thinking of someone close to you that you can offer this practice for. Whatever you do, listen to your body, listen to your flow and your breathing. If you're feeling any pain in any of the poses, or if you're feeling any strain, just back off. Be aware of yourself. And then on your next exhale, slowly open your eyes. Get your focus into the room. And let's come to all fours in a neutral spine position. Your fingers are wide, stretched. Your knees are hip distance apart. You have your shoulders slightly above your wrists. And if you have any questions, just DM me or send them in the chat and I'll try to answer them. So take a breath in through the belly as you're letting your eyesight looking up. And then as you exhale, you're pushing through the spine, opening up hips, spine, shoulders around it. And you're breathing in, you're letting it drop. Might want to do some freestyling movement as you do your inhale for cow and your exhale for cat. You can always move your hip a little bit from side to side. Maybe even do a little bit rolling back and forth. Just remember to do so with your breath. And then find some neutral spine, neutral position. You want to wake up our wrists a little bit. So we're taking our fingers out, swaying a little bit from side to side. You decide how deep you want to go. And then you have your wrists towards the mat, your fingers towards you. You slowly sit back. And coming back to center. Take your fingertips towards you. And same here, you can sway a little bit. In and out. And back to neutral. Maybe just shaking off the wrists a little bit so they should be all warmed up. And then we come into neutral spine position again. We're going to lift our toes up and off the floor. Just activating the core, having our elbows out, tucked in, just looking straight ahead slowly, just holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then dropping knees to the ground. And then just do the same, lifting off. 1 second, and then we're going to push up into our downward facing dog. And this being our first of the evening, we just want to walk it out. Straightening and bending the right and the left knees. And you want to find some stillness. Maybe have a micro bend in your knees. And lift up. Pull the stomach in, the pelvis in. Just cut tall. So it's a upside down V shape. So your head should be closer to the ground eventually. But as I said, don't worry if your feet can't reach the ground. Micro bend is probably more important to get the height. From here, I want you to come with your toes, roll over your shoulders. Take our knees to the floor, and then slowly our hands to the floor. And that's on the breath out. On the breathing in, you're going to lift the hands off the floor in low cobra. Breathe out. Push back to the toes and then lift up again into your downward facing dog. Make sure your shoulders also turning in, away from the head. So that's one variant of a Vinyasa. Second one is a little harder. You push forward, same on your toes, but you're staying down to Chaturanga, keeping shoulders in, and then coming to your toes, pushing up. You don't have to do this, but you can stay in low cobra if you want to, but otherwise you push up into upward facing dog, and then breathing out as you come back into downward facing dog. So what's important here is that you let your breath do the flow. So when you go down, you're breathing out. As you push up to low cobra or upward facing dog, you breathe out, you breathe in, and then as you push yourself back, you breathe out into downward facing dog. So try to use your breath as much as possible. And if you're feeling like you're losing your breath, just slow down, take it slower, and go from there. So let's do our Vinyasa again. Push forward on our toes, knees to the floor or chest to the floor. Breathing in, low cobra or upward facing dog, and then back into downward facing dog. From here, have your right leg rooted and lift your left leg rooted, lift your right leg up as high as you can. And then you want to see if you can do a split dog by rolling over to the left. So you can see your left foot under your armpit. And you want to take that knee in towards your chest and then step on the outside of your right finger. And we were going to do a little bit of a rock and roll forward before we come down to a lizard pose. So in a lizard, you can stay on the fingertips. Just slowly breathe here, maybe even taking your right arm, push it out on your right knee. Or if you want to feel a little bit more stretch without taking too much of the dump from the shoulders, you can try come down on your elbows and maybe pushing that chest a little bit closer to the mat. And just try using your breath. Take one more breath in and breath out. And then slowly come back to your fingertips. If you're not there already, you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, push up with your right arm up and twist from the right shoulder and chest, and even take your back foot off the ground. As in your practice, you might even take that bind the right shoulder across your left leg, or just stay where you are. And take one more breath in, and then slowly taking that right arm back down. And step back into plank. You lower yourself, knees to the floor or chest, upward facing dog or low cobra. And then push yourself back up into downward facing dog. Where they're going to go to the other side, lifting the left leg up, twist open, and having our chest, our knees into our chest, left knee, and then slowly stepping to the outside of our left hand. Do a little bit rock forward and back. Just feeling a little bit opening on the right side, on the hips, hip flexor, before you're taking that right knee to the floor. And from here, you can stay on your fingertips, or if you do another side, maybe you want to push out with your left arm on that left knee a little bit. Or maybe you wanted to come down on your forearms, just relaxing with the head and the chest towards the ground. It's hard on this side, it might go more open. Everyone's got the favorite side, so just go with the flow. And slowly come back to your fingertips if you're not there already. And take a breath in and rise up with that left arm up towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to take the right foot off the ground on your toes. Maybe you can bind, or just stay where you are. Just feeling an opening on the left shoulder. And then breathe out as you take that hand down, stepping back into high plank. Lay yourself down, knees to chest. Breathing in through the nose. Push up, and then exhale. Push you back in downward facing dog. So let's build on this. Let's take our right foot up towards the ceiling. And then do our split dog, pushing open really hard from the hips. Taking that knee, right knee in between your chest, between your hands, and stepping through in between the hands this time, not on the outside. And then breathe in as you come up into high lunge. So stomach in, back foot off the ground, strong arms, and then windmill back down, stepping back, lower ourselves down on the breath out. Breathe in as you come back up, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Spin on this, take the left leg up, split dog, stepping through in between our hands again, and then slowly coming back up into high lunge. Strong arms if you can. You might want to bind or take your fingers together. If not, don't worry. Strong back leg, strong glutes. Tuck your pelvis in. And windmill going down. Breathing in. And breathe out. Stay in our downward facing dog for a few more seconds. 2, 1. And let's go for the other side again. Lifting that right leg up. Split dog. Stepping through in between our hands. Slowly coming up on the breath in. On high lunge. And then exhale. We'll take that left foot back. And have our arms forward in Warrior 2. So they should be parallel. If one is going below, just have a look. Your gaze is through the right fingertips. Maybe you can sink a little bit lower on your right leg. Still keeping your left leg as strong as possible. One more breath in, and on the exhale, you're going to windmill that arm back, down, stepping back, knees to the floor or chest, low cobra or upward facing dog, and back in the downward facing dog. Our right leg stays rooted, left leg rose up, and we open, and we're stepping through into our high lunge. Strong arms, exhale into Warrior 2. Arms strong as well. A little bit bending if you can on your left. Go a little deeper, or just stay where you are. Looking forward, and breath in. And exhale, stepping back into high plank. Knees to the floor, chest. Low cobra, or upward facing dog. And then back in our downward facing dog. All right, got a few more Vinyasa flows to go. So let's continue building, taking our right foot off the ground, up to the ceiling, stepping through from split dog, coming up into high lunge, back leg to Warrior 2. And from here, I want you to flip that right palm. From the hips, lean forward as much as you can. And then exhale as you push back with your arm. You're still keeping your feet, your front leg in the same position. Your arm, right arm goes up. You're looking up if you can. And exhale, slowly come back into Warrior 2. Another breath in. And then as you exhale, windmill those arms down. And down into the floor. You do your cobra or downward facing dog, and then back into our downward facing dog. We're going to lift up the left leg Do a split, open, stepping through in between our hands, coming up into high lunge, back leg into warrior two, flipping the palm this time on the left, leaning forward. You really can, like you're leaning forward from the hip, so it might be better to just lean back first and then move forward. And as you exhale, strong back leg, strong front leg, really leaning back. And exhale, coming back into warrior two, windmill those arms down, stepping back. And now yourself to the ground, upward facing dog or your cobra, and pushing yourself back into downward facing dog. Do the other side, lifting the right leg up. Do a split dog. And then stepping through in between the hands, coming up into our high lunge. Breathe out as we come to our warrior two. We're going to flip the right palm, move forward, and slowly move back into our reverse warrior. And then back into warrior two. And from here, we can do a little bit different than we're normally do. We're going to take our feet, basically hip distance apart. We're doing a forward fold with our feet, our toes pointing together. So if you need to shorten your distance here to get quite straight legs, do so. You probably, if you have some problems with your knee, you might want to still have the micro bend. What I want you to do is clasp your fingertips. Take a breath in, your chest lifting up. And when you exhale, let's see if you can take your hands, your head closer to the ground. Just relax. Activate that heavy breathing from the nose. And then slowly come back up. And exhale. Taking your front foot, right leg forward, and you're back in warrior two. Windmill arms. Stepping back, coming down. Breathing in and exhale as you push back into your downward facing dog. Do the same on the other side, lifting the left leg up, split dog, open, and then step through into high lunge, back foot into warrior two, and then flip the palm of the left, move it forward, and then slowly pushing back. And back into warrior two again. And you want to take your feet, as I said, maybe a little bit wider, or just, if it was hard on the other side, just step a little bit closer maybe. And clasp the hands, lifting the chest. And as you breathe in, you want to take that arm, lifting up. Your chest coming down. See if you can get your head maybe a little bit closer to the ground. Obviously, if you're feeling a little bit lock in the knee too much, where it's shivering and imbalanced, just have a micro bend. You feel a lengthening from the back as well, through the chest. It can all just be coming from the hip. And then slowly come back up on your exhale, releasing the bind. One other side on. Taking the left leg forward, arms back into warrior two. Windmill those arms, stepping back into high plank. And we lower ourselves down in chaturanga or knees. Breathing in as you push up in upward facing dog or low cobra. And then let's meet back in our downward facing dog. We're just going to stay for 5 seconds. Try spreading the fingers. You got your shoulder blades rolling in towards you. Maybe your feet are now on the ground. If not, don't worry. Just try to stay there. Push a little bit closer to the ground maybe. And then we're going to drop on our knees. Maybe have some water. Rest for a few moments. So I want you to have your toes touching. Knees are apart, mat distance. You're breathing in, and you exhale. Slowly going to come down with your head to the ground, stretching forward with your hands. Then you can rest with the head. And slowly breathing in through that nose. Breath count to 4. On the inhale. And breath count to 4 on the exhale. In the full child's pose, you can always do your hands wrapped around your knees for balasana. Or you can just stay with your hands forward. It's up to you. You can always come back to this position if you're a little bit tired and you need some rest. Otherwise, on your next exhale, slowly come back, your fingers and on your toes. Let's push back up into our downward facing dog. And from here, you're either going to jump or step to the top of your mat. And slowly come up halfway. I want you to take your elbows together and just rock a little bit from side to side. Just relaxing the shoulders, the knees. And we're slowly going to roll up to standing position. Our head and our shoulders coming last. And just rolling them back. And from here, you should take your hands out. So in Tadasana, mountain pose, closing your eyes for a second, standing tall. And calm. And open your eyes. And focus in the room. I want you to take your right arm up towards the ceiling, like that, yep. And then push it back into your invisible jeans pocket on the right, and then the left arm goes up, and then the same on the left side. Now have a slight micro bend in your knees. You're breathing in, as you breathe out, you're going to push forward. If you've got some back issues here, just bend your knees more, don't push as much forward. Just try to squeeze your elbows as well. And an exhale, And slowly coming back up. Releasing the hands. Again, look forward. Standing tall. Take your fingers or hands to your hip. Slowly want to roll back down. Fingers touching the ground. And we're going to take our feet slightly wide, hip distance. Take your first two fingers, we call them peace fingers. Wrap them around our big toes, each big toe. And I want this to come from the chest and the head as much as possible instead of the actual lower back. You're breathing in. You can still have a micro bend here if you have tight hamstrings. You're breathing in. And as you breathe out, see if you can push your head a little bit closer towards you. And on each inhale, you're looking slightly forward and up. And on each exhale, you see if you can push yourself a little bit closer to that knee. So you're almost having your head in between, but as I said, it should come from the chest leaning forward and not from the lower back to protect it. So take one more breath in from here. Breathing out, bringing the closeness to the knees, and then slowly release that grip. And we're going to lift up again, rolling up into our standing position. Rolling the shoulders back. We're going to come into balancing exercise. So what I want you to do is standing in the center of your mat. We're slowly going to come forward with our left foot, rooting our big toes or all our toes on the ground, spreading them. And as you breathe in, you're going to start by lifting the right toes. So very important to try and activate the core, stomach, glutes, legs as much as possible in this exercise. So we're slowly going to lift up your right knee. So if this is where you want to be, if this is enough, like you can take your hands to your hip. Otherwise, I would take my arms in prayer position and take the left hand up. And then on the outside of my right knee, and slowly taking our right hand back. And you want to see if you can take your gaze to that right hand. And slowly coming back to center. And just release the left hand and taking the left hand out to the side. And you can look towards that as well. So you can have a micro bend if you need to. Don't have to have a straight leg. And just you can focus. You wobble. And then slowly come back to center. And you can keep your leg there, or if you want to reset, just reset for a second. And you see if you can take your left foot to the inside, right foot on the inside of your left leg. You can take it on your knee if that's easier, or you can keep it at your shin maybe, so you're not lifting it as high. And just keep a focal point forward. And take your hands in prayer position. Maybe you want to take your arms up above your head. You need to breathe, focus. Take your hands down. Your foot slowly coming down to the floor and reset. Shaking the legs a little bit. And try the other side. So taking our right foot slightly forward, and we really anchoring those toes on the mat. Hand to the toes of your left. Breath in. Slowly going to really take the left leg up. And you want to take right arm up. And take it to your left knee. Slowly taking the left arm back. Always look back, or you can keep your focus forward. It's up to you. Keeping the focal point there. And slowly coming back to center. Try keeping your leg up. And you take a right arm out. Have a look towards the right. Just keeping that focus there. And then slowly coming back to center. And take our left foot on the inside of our right leg. Just keep your hand by the hips if you want, or you can take it in prayer position, or maybe overhead. It's up to you. And take one more breath in, and then slowly take that foot down, left, and back in neutral position. Setting again, mountain pose, taking hands out to the sides, closing your eyes for a second, and then slowly opening again, hands in prayer position. Going to come down to the ground, to the floor work. So we'll slowly want to take our feet mat distance apart and sway a little bit from side to side as we come down in our yogic squats. So what's important here is to really feel, are you sitting tall? You got your hands maybe inside of your knees, pushing them together, and you might be swaying a little bit from side to side. If you're not coming low enough, you could always use a book or something just to find stability. And just sit there, closing your eyes. Sitting tall, don't bend at your back, your spine. Sit tall. And slowly, you take our hands back and come seated to the floor or with our legs forward. And slowly roll down onto the ground. We're keeping our left leg on the ground, taking our right foot up and our knees, clasping our right knee, flexing both feet. So it's very important to keep the feet flexed. And as you breathe in, clasping, and as you breathe out, see if you can push that right knee a little bit closer towards your right chest. On each exhale, you still want to keep that left leg as much as possible on the ground. So if you're pushing too much and it means that it lifts up, just retract a little bit and just keep it there. That might be your range of motion. And then slowly release that right hand. Take a breath in, and on exhale, you're on a roll towards your left, spinning, nice supine twist. You still want to keep, so instead of just trying to get that right knee as much as possible to the ground, which is good, you don't want to do that at the expense of having your right shoulder and your left shoulder off the ground. Just keep intact. And to breathe, and maybe look towards your right side. And then when you exhale, next exhale, slowly roll back up. Center, releasing that right knee and leg to the ground. Do the other side. Taking your left knee towards you, flexing both toes, both feet. Breathing in, and as you exhale, push that left knee closer towards your right. So your left shoulder, your left chest. Just try to relax. You try to activate that Ujjayi breath, which means that you're still breathing out through your nose, but you're activating your throat, making good kind of blocky sound, air coming through. Helps you relax. And release that left hand. Take it out to the side. Breathing in, and as you exhale, you want to twist to your right, rolling over, still keeping both of your shoulders to the ground, looking towards the left side. Keeping both shoulders on the ground. Might be that this side is better, harder, doesn't matter, just relax into the pose. Slowly roll back up into center. You can take both knees towards you and just do a little bit of rocking side to side, massaging of the spine, and then let both feet to the floor. You want to have your hands, your fingers basically touching the back of your ankles. We're going to come into a bridge pose. So take a breath in. And on the exhale, I want you to push up on your hands. You're activating your glutes, your hamstrings, feeling a nice stretch on the front. You want to go deeper. You can clasp your hands and push a little bit more, making sure that the legs are not flaying out. They should be in line. So you kind of imagine you're squeezing a ball, like a football, between your legs, between your knees, and it's keeping there steady. Take 2 more breaths here. Squeezing the glutes. And on the exhale, you're slowly going to roll down. So your upper back, lower back, and then the glutes. And I just relax for a second. I'm going to try that again. So reset if you need to. Make sure you're touching your fingers, touching those ankles. Hands are rooted to the ground, fingertips apart. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, pushing yourself back up into our bridge pose. Again, if you want to feel a little bit stronger, taking the clasp of your hands, shoulder blades are together, and just push a little bit more. Activate everything. And on your next exhale, slowly going to come down with your upper back, mid back, and lower back, touching you out. And again, I want to take the knees towards us, just do a little bit of rock from side to side. And from here, we're going to take our hands under our legs and do rock up and down this time. So just continues. And then I want you to come on your seated, you're sitting tall on the bum. You're taking your feet out. You can have them micro bend. You're sitting tall. Your fingers are out. So we're in a boat pose. So you can take your legs maybe forward. It might be shaking a little bit. I know mine are when I do that, but it's good core exercise. Just keeping tall. Feet towards you. And we're going to cross our legs, roll forward, and then slowly stepping back. And we move chaturanga from here. We move slowly. So you're tucked in. You're pushing down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're on the ground. Do a little bit rolling from side to side. And we're going to come up on our forearms. So we're going to be in a Sphinx pose. So you take a breath in. You're looking, so if you've got some issues back here again, don't have, should activate your glutes here, should I say, to protect your back. So you have to squeeze them. Feet on the ground, push up. Chests are open, your shoulder blades are open. Looking slightly forward. 2 more breaths. And as you exhale, slowly down, resting your left cheek on the ground. On the ground. And from here, what we want to do is, we can do the same position again. Otherwise, if you want to try, I'm going to do the bow pose. So what you want to do is you're taking your legs towards you, your bum. You're reaching back to hold your ankles. And again, you want to protect your back. But what you do here is before you go up, you're going to push in with your feet. And so you got a strong hold into your hands, straight. And as you breathe in, let's do it again. And so take a breath out. And as you breathe in, you're going to push into those hands, push yourself up off the ground, really squeezing the elbows in. Stay there for 1 more second and then breathe out as you push. Step down, taking your feet down. Might have done a little bit dirty noise there, but that's all right. That's what happens when you try to breathe. And from here, I want you to slowly just push yourself back into the child's pose. And we're going to come to a seated position. So taking your feet forward. We have time for one or more, 2. So we're going to sit tall. And you want to have your feet forward, or flexed, should I say, towards you. You have a micro bend in your knees. And lift our arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to lean forward. Again, similar to what we do a forward fold and standing. We lean forward with that chest. And maybe you can take your hands on your feet, or maybe on your calf. And on each exhale, you want to see if you can basically push forward from the chest and not rounding the spine too much. So that means that if you're going like too much like that, putting too much strain on the back again, and that's not what we want to feel the lengthening from. We want to feel lengthening from the chest and the head. So take 2 more breaths. Feet and toes slightly towards you, feeling a stretch in the hamstrings. And slowly going to release. Breathe out as you come back up to your seated position. And we come into twist. So we're going to take our left knee towards us and our foot, step it just so it's close to your left butt cheek. You want to step with that left leg to outside, coming close to our chest. And what you want to do from here is you want to raise up with your right arm and slowly wrap. So you can take that on the outside, or you can wrap with your right arm and then twist through the waist. You're sitting tall. You'll be closing your eyes. Your front legs, toes are towards you. Again, you're twisting a little more, breathing out. And come back to center. We'll do a counter twist. You're taking your right arm back and you're looking down slightly before you do the other side. So you take your left leg forward, you're flexing that left foot, you're stepping out with your right towards you on the outside of your left. You take your left arm up towards the sky and see if you can take that on the outside, or you can again just wrap it. Taking the right arm out, you're twisting for your waist, you're sitting tall, so you're not dumping back. Maybe closing your eyes. And on each exhale, see if you can push slightly forward more and twist. And slowly release. And counter twist, looking down. And taking our feet forward. Preparing yourself for Shavasana. So maybe if you're not in a dark room, you can close the curtains. It's quite warm in here already, but you can close the curtains, turn off the lights, and slowly come down, lying on the ground. Take your legs apart, mat distance. Your hands out to one side, palms facing up. Your shoulders are relaxing on the ground. Your upper back and mid back the lower back, glutes and hamstrings. Also resting in your feet. Just focus on your breath. In your stomach expand as you're breathing out in. And as you breathe out, just feel it empty. Right. Your mind starts drifting. Don't worry, just realize it and you're calm and collected. Start coming back to your physical body. Moving the fingers slowly. Moving the toes. And circling your wrists and your feet. Alright, roll your head from side to side, letting your shoulders down. And if you want to, you can have a full water stretch, taking the arms overhead, like you do in the morning. You could sleep. And then slowly relax, and with your eyes still closed, you take your knees towards your chest and you roll over, fetal position to your right. You push yourself up. So you're sitting, easy crossed legs, on top of your mat. With your eyes closed. Taking your hands in the prayer position. And take breath in through the nose together. And exhale out through the mouth. And then slowly open your eyes. And thank yourself and others for attending this class. And I'm not sure about you, but I was quite warm doing this today. So hopefully, if you're like me, you can drink lots of water and you feel a little bit more relaxing and you'll get a night's sleep tonight. So if you do have any questions, just ping them over to me and I'll try to answer. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you next time.